Today, we'll be talking about blood donation and how it affects both the people who are giving the blood and people who have received it. Thank you, Dr. Shikomaya, for coming on the program. The World Blood Donation Day was yesterday. And today we're continuing the conversation, as it were. The theme is about solidarity and encouraging people to join the effort. So can you quickly just explain briefly, what is blood? What does blood do? And why do people need to donate blood?
So first of all, I really do have to appreciate you for having me once again on this program. So blood donation is an act of giving blood, as removing blood from an individual into a packed storage for it to be transfused for someone that needs the blood. So I always need to allow people know that when blood is taken for an investigation, that is not blood donation. A large amount of blood needs to be removed from, that is about 450 mils, is removed from an individual, put in a storage container, which is a blood bag. It is worked on, processed, and then transfused into an individual that needs it, either because of anemia or bone marrow failure, or whatever it is that makes them need blood. So who needs blood? People that lose blood from accidents, and mothers following deliveries, even during pregnancies, people that have complications need blood. People with sickle cell anemias or hemophilias also need blood. People with cancers, especially cancers with associated bone marrow failure, they do need blood to remain alive. We also have a group of people that have renal failure. They have a state of chronic anemia and they need to constantly have blood to remain alive. But why must we have voluntary donors? It's not just why must people donate blood. Many people donate blood and they donate blood for a particular reason. What I mean is that they are donating for a friend as replacement donors, or they are donating for a prize. But we do not need those type of donors because they just do it for a particular reason. We need voluntary blood donors because they are the ones that constantly fill up the blood banks for us. So a voluntary donor knows he or she needs to donate blood at a particular period. They decide to donate blood 2 or 3 times a year. Nobody's forcing them to donate blood. They do not need coercion. They are just doing it to save lives.
I think it's so important, but for people to understand this blood, what is blood? Why is blood so essential for life?
So blood is that liquid red fluid. That's red fluid in our veins that flows through our body, that carries oxygen, it carries food, it carries nutrients from one part of our body to another. Blood also carries things that need to be excreted, waste products, toxins from all parts of our body to the kidneys where it is excreted. Now, blood cannot be manufactured anywhere. It's only in our body that we produce blood. Blood outside the body also lasts for a short period of time. So we need to continually donate blood to replenish the existing blood in the blood banks. What I mean is that when you donate blood, with the type of blood bags you use in Nigeria, blood lasts for only 35 days. So blood does not last forever. It can only be gotten from somebody that donates it. And once it is donated, after 35 days, this blood becomes unable to be used again.
Now, you've spoken very passionately, and I feel your passion about the importance of blood and why people need to donate blood. I think it would be nice also, because we're very fortunate to have some people on the program who can tell us, that they've actually had the experience of receiving blood, what happened to them. So, Madam, this is our first guest. I'd like to just ask you, what happened? Why did you need to receive blood?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ms. Akntola. I was transfused in 2010 when I want to give birth to my second born. It's precisely in Apapa General Hospital. I was told I'm going to go through CS, that's a serious section. In the theater, maybe 30 minutes after they started the operation, I was feeling dizzy on the bed, very weak. I now called the anesthesia that I'm not okay. Maybe they can do anything for me. She said I should raise my tongue, in which I cannot do. I told her I checked my head that I can't make it. She started moving up and down. Later, I come round and I called her that I'm better now. She thanked God, but I was feeling the way they are sewing, the decision they are doing. I was feeling it. 10 minutes later, I was out, but I'm not okay. Very weak, tired. I cannot move myself. I was calling the nurses to come and rescue me, but they thought maybe I'm joking. I was on the bed trying to get myself. The second day, when my consultant now come around, I explained everything to him that I'm not okay. I'm not feeling fine. This is not my first time of doing CS. Now order for PCV, that's pack cell volume, as in PCV, to check my blood level. They went to the lab, they collected my blood. When the result comes out, it was 18%. Wow, very low. They now ordered for blood, 2 pints of blood, O positive. They transfused me that 2 pints of blood. After some minutes, I gained myself. I was okay. I can carry my baby. I can feed her. I was very excited. Thank God for the blood they gave me that day. I don't know what will have happened by now. That was the first one. And that didn't happen because I have fibroid. It's the cause of the fibroid that was very, very bleach in the theater in which they have to give me that blood. So 10 years after, the fibroid I said I have initially was still disturbing me. I was bleeding whenever I'm doing my periods. So I went to hospital. I was told I'm going to carry out another operation. They did it and they transfused me another 1 pint of blood before I now come out. Now I'm fit and okay. Thank God to blood transfusion services, because if you are not there, I don't know what will have happened to me. Yeah. Maybe my enemy will have died. But I make one promise since that day that I'm going to repay it. I'm going to save a life too, in which I did. I did it last year. I gave someone blood. Glory be to God. I'm okay now. Thank you.
Thank God. That's a wonderful story. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. Because a lot of people don't understand how dangerous childbirth can be. And sometimes the baby is delivered and then the mother is in trouble. And it is this blood that can save the mother. Because when you lose blood, as Dr. Shikma said earlier, there's nothing that can replace it. You cannot buy blood. Somebody has to give it. But there are a lot of people out there who are reluctant to give blood. They have fear of giving blood. Do you have anything to say to them? Some people even have stigma and they are afraid to receive blood. Please give them some words from your heart.
My sister, my brothers, it's good to save a soul. When you save a soul, you will be happy. Someone saved my life. I don't know what will have happened to me if there is no blood for me to use then. Thank God I'm still alive now. Some people are there outside that need blood. If people can come in and donate blood voluntarily, you'll be happy that you save life. You know your status. When they collect your blood, they are going to test it. Maybe you are okay or not. If you are not okay, they will tell you. That's when you start treating yourself too. But if you are okay, you save a life. If you don't have money to give someone, you can donate your blood to save life. It's good though. Everybody should come out and do it. At least you save one soul or 3. They said if you donate 1, you save 3 lives. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome, ma'am.
God bless you. God bless your family.
Amen. Amen, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam, for coming on the program to share your experience with us. Can you tell us what happened? How you needed blood and what happened?
So actually, before I was admitted to the hospital, I always have all these frequent headache. Sometimes I'll feel dizziness. Sometimes I'll be feeling as if maybe I have malaria or typhoid. So I've already started treating myself at home. So later, I think the treatment is not really working. So I was rushed to General Hospital Lagos. So on getting there, series of tests were run on me. So among the tests, they requested for heart cell bone, that's PCB. So on getting back for the results, so I was told that my blood level is low, that I had a rate of 20% of blood in my system, that they have to transfuse me. So that very day, when we get to the hospital lab, there was there was they told my parents that they didn't have the group for my blood, so they they asked us to go to the blood bank at General Hospital, Lagos. So when we get there, so that was where the blood was get. And the very day they went for the blood, they said they didn't donate the blood back. They just paid for the cost machine and that's all. So it was that blood that really helped me, because with that rate of blood that day, it's not only the malaria and typhoid, because the dizziness is much less. Then I couldn't even stand on my own. I couldn't do anything. I was just feeling as if maybe I want to faint. So it was the blood that really helped me.
Okay, thank you very much. So you had a critically low blood level, so that you had to have a transfusion. And
Yes,
how do you
ma'am.
feel about it now? How old are you, and when did you have it, and how do you feel about it now?
When I had this, it was like 4 years back. Now I'll be 30. Then I was like 20 years old. So, but now everything is better. Ever since then, they have not even gone back to, maybe I've not even have that kind of crisis anymore. Because
Fantastic.
after the transfusion, I was placed on some drugs. So ever since then, I'm okay. Ever since then, I've not even been admitted to any hospital for any other thing that will
Illness.
have anything to do with transfusion of blood.
Okay. So
Perfect.
now,
Okay now.
that are you grateful to the person who donated your blood? Because as you said, there's a voluntary donor out there, someone who just came and donated blood. So that blood was just available for you at the right time.
Yes, ma'am.
If you could speak to
Yes,
such a person now, what would you say to him or her if she was listening to this program?
I would just be grateful to that person by saying a big thank you to that person, because without that person blood, I won't be who I am today. Maybe by that year back, I mean, I've even give up. So it was blood that really helped me so much. I'm really grateful for all that person did to me. God reward that person to back abundantly, even what he didn't even expected.
Amen.
Greatness,
Amen.
God will do it for that person. Because
Amen.
I'm really happy. It was that person brought me back to that blood. It was the person that brought me back, because if the blood is not available, I don't know what will have happened by now. But I'm really grateful for that person. Very, very
And
grateful.
I must say that I am grateful on your behalf as well. Thank you
Thank
very
you, ma'am.
much.
That has been tremendous. And fortunately, we have Kunle here, who is a blood donor, who's also going to share his experience with us. Kunle, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Thank you very much for coming on the program. And
Thank you.
thank you so much for being what I call a hero, for being a hero who donates blood. Can you tell me what made you start donating blood?
What made me start donating blood?
Yes.
Well, how will I really put it? Well, at first I was skeptical, people, because of the environment we are, and watching these home videos and what people do with all sort of things. But on the long run, while I got to know that it's also important for me to, you understand, that while I donate blood, my marrows will be able to produce new blood. Okay, and keep somebody fitter. So I embraced it.
That's wonderful. How many times have you donated blood?
Well, to be sincere, I try to donate like twice a year. I've tried to be consistent with that. Like, well, lately I also heard that somebody can donate like 4 times in a year, but I've tried to be like consistent with my twice a year.
Twice a year. For how many years have you been donating the blood?
Well, to be sincere, I would say maybe I'm still a young donor. I embraced it around 2016, thereabout. 2016.
So for about 6 years now, you've been donating twice a year. So that's that's quite considerable. And I must tell you, the ladies who came on, one had her life saved after childbirth, and even another time after major surgery, another one just collapsed, and it's so important. And, I don't know how to express thanks to you and thanks to everybody else, because I know there'll be some people who are listening who have donated blood. And we really want to appreciate you this Blood Donation Day and say thank you so much for it. Now, one of the things you just mentioned now was the fact that there are issues with initially. They were what you had watched on videos. Talk to us. What are the reasons? There's some people out there who are thinking of becoming blood donors. And these are some of the things, that what they call the stigma, some of the fallacies, some of the myths that they see on all these TVs and things, and that make them afraid. Can we just share what those issues are so we can deal with it?
The issues that make people afraid to donate blood?
Yes.
Well, it's probably because of the society we are in. I can just mention that maybe our society, and much more I would say the publicity is not wide enough. So I think maybe because of society we are, and the publicity is not wide enough. So those can be like deterrents to people.
Okay, so if you could speak to the people who are listening now and tell them to donate blood, what would you say?
Well, I want to encourage people listening to embrace blood donation. Okay, apart from the fact that it reduces issues of heart diseases in people. Okay, just a single pint of blood can save 3 people. I think that's one very important caption that made me to continue donating. That just my single blood, a single pint of blood that I donate can actually save 3 lives. I think that's something that that is very welcome.
It is, and I want to say thank you again. As a representative of all the blood donors, I thank you and I thank them all. Thank you so much for sharing. Dr. Shipamaya.
Yes.
Now, we've heard the testimonies of the 2 ladies, and we've also heard from Kunle. And yet, we here in Nigeria, we don't have enough people donating blood. Kule mentioned 2 issues. He said first, the 2 issues that he thinks of is, one is the society. And I didn't go into that in enough detail, but you and I think it's important we call it spade a spade. The whole issue of rituals. People think that when they donate blood, their blood can be used for rituals. I mean, how do you counter that? Is that true?
The blood that is collected is not used for rituals. So what we do is that we encourage voluntary donors, as in proposed voluntary donors, to go to licensed healthcare facilities to have their blood donated. I also encourage them to ask to see what is being done with the blood. So if you go to a stated facility, which is the commonest place people go to, I encourage them to go into the laboratories to see what is done with the blood. We also have a lot of videos that I also have now that shows people what is happening to the blood. Aside from that, I allow people to know that the needs and the demands are much, much more than the blood that is even donated. So the blood is not even enough for us to want to give some out for rituals. And it is far from what we actually do here. To donate blood, I believe it starts from wanting to save a life. If you really do want to save a life, you will go above those fears and try to just want to do something for somebody. Also, I need to mention something. Many people that have these fears feel more comfortable donating as replacement donors. So they'll tell you, I don't want to donate just like that. Is there somebody that needs blood? I want to be a voluntary donor, yes. But is there somebody that actually do need the blood? So I refer them to the healthcare facilities. There are many people that need blood and they do not have people to donate. So I say, look, just go to the head of the laboratories, head of the blood banks, and ask them that is there somebody that needs my blood, and they donate. So by the time they donate at that level, it helps them to break up these myths and all these cultural beliefs about blood donation going for rituals. But to me, I think that is the list of the myths that I have of me. Many people will tell you that I cannot donate blood because I don't have enough blood. We have people that are being more educated now. They know that their blood is not being used for rituals. They know that the blood is not even enough for people that require blood because they read, they see what's in the internet and things like that. But the question is, I don't have enough blood. So we need to have individual first to know if the person is fit to donate blood or not. So we encourage them that don't worry, we're not going to collect any blood from you if you do not have enough blood for yourself. Another myth or fear that many people are afraid of pain and needles. And I do not lie to donors about it. I tell them, yes, when you want to give blood, you will feel that pinprick, but that pinprick is the only thing you would feel. I let them away. I tell them the pain of the pinprick is nothing considered to the life of the people you are going to save, to the gratitude those people have for what you have done for them. So the pain of the needle, the fear of needles are also something that we talk about, and we are looking for solutions. We are trying to get anesthetic packs. So when we have anesthetic packs, by the time the needle is going to your skin, you do not even have that at all. However, there are some very funny facts that you need to know about. As I saw men do that, they tell you that it will affect my libido. I don't even have something to say about it. Please, it is not possible. I just tell them, remember the husband donors. There are many men that give blood because their wives are pregnant, and they come regularly. Some of them have given blood 3 times. If it has affected their libido, they won't have the second pregnancy, nor will they have the 3rd pregnancy. So donation drives should be accompanied by a recipient. So we are reaching out to our recipient that for all these donor drives, let a recipient be there. A recipient should be one of the donor awareness team. So you can tell them, see, I am a recipient of blood donation. Donate blood for people like me that are still in the hospital that need to have this blood to be alive.
Oh, thank you so much. And in fact, one of the recipients has not only lived through 2 events, but has now gone on to become a blood donor herself. And I think that is tremendous.
And not just that, she has also gone on to become a donor awareness advocate. Wherever she goes to in our environment, in our estate, she'll tell you that we're having an estate meeting, we're having a community meeting. I'm going to talk about voluntary donation. She usually comes in to ask for flyers and for stickers so that she can share it anytime she talks about blood donation.
No, that's just so wonderful. And, I do want to encourage people to do more. And I know we haven't had our Doctors on Air medical mission where we always also do a blood donation drive for some time. And with this year and with COVID again, we're not doing it again this year, but from next year, we will start by God's grace to do that again and to continue the drive to drive for more blood. Now, unfortunately, time is fast spent. Do you have any last words for our listeners?
Yes, all I can say, please donate blood, not just be a one-time voluntary blood donor, be a regular voluntary blood donor to save the lives of many people out there that still need that drop of red gold to remain alive.
One last question. If there's anybody listening here now that wants to go out and donate blood, become a voluntary donor tomorrow, where can they go? How can they know where to go to donate blood?
So you can donate blood at any of the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service voluntary blood donation centers at General Hospital Bagada and the General Hospital Lagos. You can donate blood at any of the 27 state-owned healthcare facilities. We all have blood donation centers there, and that is a very good opportunity for you to see what happens to that blood. You can also donate blood at the donor center of the Lagos State Teaching Hospital. Because many people do not like going to public health facilities, a few private health facilities have been licensed to collect blood from individuals. So if you want to give blood in a private health facility, kindly look out for the Lagos State logo at their reception. That shows that you can collect blood there, safe, without any of rituals or any of those myths that gets you scared.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for caring.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for new video updates.